If you want to hear how I did with your round 6 selections, the round 6 selections for the palette roulette, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and I am so pleased to bring you the outcome of round 6 of the palette roulette. And stick around because at the end I will be offering you the ranges to participate in round 7. Let's talk about what was selected mid-August, and it is a full month this time. And the reason it's a full month, I was away. If you've heard many of my videos, you would already know, yes, Hélène, you were away, but I realized not everybody listens to every video, and that's fair enough. I did not bring these palettes with me while I was traveling. I was looking for just go-to makeup that I didn't have to think about a whole ton, but I guarantee you, I really used these palettes before this trip that I just came back from. And I just want to go over each one of the palettes. There were 3 people who selected palettes or other category products. And I just want to go over what I did with them, how I used them, and also pop up right here some of the looks that I captured. I did post them kind of as I was going along on Instagram. You may have seen some of them there. Let's just get started. The first person I'm going to talk about, at least her selections, is Adrianna. And Adrianna picked number 70, 12, and 12. And number 70 was the NYX Grind palette. And I don't mind this palette at all. It's a very nice palette in my collection. I do really, really love the casing on this palette. And you will see that it houses a total of 12 shadows. And I used quite a variety of them. I went into the green. I went into this one that is one that I quite enjoy. This other one that looks like Sissy from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I also used this very, very deep green on the inner lid, on the outer lid, pardon me, which I don't always do. And I used the heck out of these 3 brownish colors. So I made really good use of this palette for a number of reasons. I used it at least 4 or 5 times, at least 4 times for sure. Even if, and maybe more, just going in for one specific shadow. But I really appreciate the mirror. I appreciate the way the whole palette is set up. Very, very nice palette. And I think it's fine quality. I have this one, the Grind, and I also have the red one, which I just keep forgetting what it's called. I don't have the Steam one, but this one. And just as I was reaching for it, I was like, Ignite! It's Ignite! This is the other one that I have of the trio from NYX, and just to give you a sense of what it looks like. They're very complementary. Of course, I was using Grind this time around, but if I tend to want to use these, I tend to take both of them out at the same time because I just find that I dip back and forth between them. Now, unfortunately, they are discontinued. You can't get them. I do know that you can get Steam still from Shoppers Drug Mart online, but I think it's the only one available. But anything in this kind of packaging from NYX, really impressed. The next item that was selected was number 12 in the face palette category, and Adrianna chose this Smashbox trio. This is the contour palette, and in this one is, I think it's called light medium. It should be anyway, because that's what it is. And you'll see that it has a highlight, a matte highlight, a bronzer, and a contour. I used all of these heavily during the last month and really quite enjoyed it. I even set my eye primer sometimes with this color and found that it worked quite nicely. I have zero problem with Smashbox contour powders. If anything, the Cali contour is one that I've been very, very much eyeing, precisely because I like this trio so much. And when it comes to travel, this is very, very convenient. I did not take this one traveling though, because if you watch my upcoming travel video, I had a palette that was more compact, more versatile, because the only thing I brought with me on this trip was a backpack, and I needed something even more convenient. But this is a very sturdy palette and a great option if it's something that you're looking for in your collection. Now, the final category Adrianna had to pick was the other category, and she gave me number 12 again, and number 12 ended up being these Moondust shadows from Urban Decay. I did introduce them all in the intro video. I will spare you that today, but I will definitely mention that I am wearing Space Cowboy right now on the inner to center lid. I did do quite a few, and this is Space Cowboy. I'll show you that one. And that was the only one out of the whole bunch that I hadn't used yet. So I'm very happy to have used it. And it's very flattering. I mean, if I were going to a glam evening or just wanting to amp up my eye look, but in a traditional setting, I would definitely suggest Space Cowboy. There's a reason it's a cult classic from Urban Decay. It's beautiful. I used most of these. I know I used Vape. The only one I'm not sure about, but I think I used right up front, was Extra Galactic. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. I can see that I did. It's just this, there are a couple that are just beautiful. Duochrome options in these Moondust shadows. It's just, well, they have, this is a two-tone glitter is what this is. Vape is just a very light option, kind of like Space Cowboy. I used these two for a single look, and I thought they looked so good together. I ended up using Vortex on the outer lid, and then this one, which is Dark Force, on the inner lid, and together they looked so good. And then finally, another favorite was Shockwave. And that one is just so neat because it has purple and a rust undertone, and some blue comes out on it as well. And I can't resist. I will give you a swatch of that one as well. Now, the Moondusts are somewhat translucent just because they're kind of meant as toppers, not as lone shadows. And as a matter of fact, when I talked about that deep matte green in the Grind palette, I used Vortex as a topper over top that matte green, and it just made it pop so well. But these Moondusts, I don't feel like the camera does it justice, the formula justice. They are absolutely beautiful in real life. All in all, I was extremely pleased with Adrianna's selections. Adrianna, if you are watching this video, thank you. I had a ton of fun, and I hope you will participate in this next round of selections. Next up, we have Susan G, and Susan G offered up 3 numbers. She offered up 39, 10, and 3. And 39 was a challenge for me. Let me show you. This is the bad boy. You may kind of see it as something familiar to you. It is a copycat. I don't like to say dupe. It really is a copycat of the Makeup Forever $110 palette like this. And it was definitely intimidating, but I can tell you that I used 2 of the colors. I used this blue and the brown, and I used these 2 as a base to help on the lid. So inner to center lid was blue, and center to outer lid was brown. And what I did was then put a shadow over top of those cream shadows to try to increase the intensity and the sticky, to have the shadows really adhere to these cream shadows, and or this cream makeup, and it worked so well. It worked so well. So I would say that this challenge has made me consider these as a go-to when I need my makeup to last for the 16-hour range. So it's an important event. it's a situation where I need to have an eye look that lasts the whole day and then some, I will definitely use these colors as a base for the look. It gives you a lot of control. You control how you apply the base, and then it helps you control what goes over the base as far as placement. I was really impressed with what this did for me. Now, the only downside is that I found it to be more time consuming. And I'm not always willing to put an hour into doing an eye look, a full makeup look. But I have to admit that I need to give this palette a whole lot more credit, and that when, like I said, when I want my makeup at a whole other level of staying power and impact, that I will definitely be using this. It's called the iMagic Professional Cosmetics Face and Body Paint. Loved it. Loved it. If you want to see me actually do a get ready with me using this as a base, please let me know. I don't have a problem with doing that. If you find or think that it would be informative, I'm happy to do that for you. After 39, Susan picked number 10, and number 10 was this Anastasia blush kit in Gradient. And I was so pleased that Susan picked this for me because I love all of it. I used this palette not only for blush. I'm actually using chocolate as my blush today. I also used it for eyeshadow. This blackberry color is amazing on the outer to center lid and outer to center crease. It looks so good if you have an opposite eye color. So for example, for green eyes, this looks so, so good. I used this one as well in the crease. I used this one in the crease. This one I did use on the inner lid once, as this was the combo, and it looked really nice. I also used these two as a combo. Yes, this is a blush palette, but colored powder is colored powder. And so I have to admit that I consider this Gradient palette, to me, being a complete face palette. I can use it for eyes, I can use it for face, just pretty much through and through. Very useful and very practical as a quad. Finally, in the other category, Susan chose the Shimmer Veils, and I have a total of 6 of them. And I used, as I keep dropping them, I used quite a few of them. I used Celestial for sure, so this is Celestial. It's very pretty. If you want to see swatches, if you want to just take a look at the intro video, you'll see all of them. I used Amethyst, which I think is beautiful. It's a purple. Obviously, Amethyst fits with that, doesn't it? And then Halo as well. All of these are so, so, so nice. There isn't a dud in the pack. And somehow these got some mixed reviews, and I can't figure out why. They stick on my eye, they look fine, they last all day. They're, depending on how wild of a color you take, Amethyst and Halo are a little bit more out there. But like Soleil, Moonstone, Magic, Celestial, they're all extremely flattering, kind of sparkly, shimmery neutrals. I like all of them. I think they're, if you have 5 minutes, you put a color into the crease color on the brow bone, that on the inner to center lid, done, you're done, and it looks so good. Yeah, I'm a big fan, and there's a reason I have all 6 of them, because I just think they're fantastic. And Cover FX as a company just releases dang good quality products. That's pretty much it. So I was really happy to do that. And I also introduced in that video another product from Cover FX that I said I had been kind of neglecting, and those are the clicks, and they are kind of like, if you know nude sticks, they are products that you can use on the lips, cheeks, and eyes. And I have only used those once and will continue to use them. I'll just show you real quick. I won't spend a whole lot of time on them because they are discontinued, but I have Gilded, Blossom, Berry, and Gold, and I'll just show you one of them. So like I said, highlighter, lips, eyes, you can use them for pretty much any reason. I have two in the brownish shades and two in the pinky berry shades. And I did do on one occasion a full look with just using these, a full face look along with liner, mascara, and brows. They work really well. And I mean, to do a full face with just this much product is pretty awesome. It's, I think, a full face of cream products though. I just find that I want a bit more versatility, but if I were going traveling for a month and didn't want to bring a whole bunch of brushes and blah, 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 this is probably a solution that I would strongly consider. And Cover FX is not the only company that makes this kind of multi-use product. So Bite Beauty, I know, has some nude sticks I mentioned as well. You might want to take a look into them if you are not a kind of high maintenance, need 50 steps kind of a makeup person. Infomercial done and Susan's selections done. Last but not least, we have Julie, and Julie gave me 3 numbers that happened to be the date she made her selections. So we have 19, 8, and 10. So she made her selections on August 10th of 2019. We'll remember that one. Let's see, the first one, the eyeshadow palette, I don't know why I had to look at my paper. It's the Ultimate Basics from Urban Decay. And here it is. I think most of us are familiar with this palette and what it looks like inside. And as a matter of fact, I used this color just yesterday, this kind of rusty color called Extra Bitter. I ended up using most of this palette and rekindled my love of 2 shadows. I really enjoy this one for the brow bone. I keep forgetting, yeah, Blow. I don't like the name. I do like Blow for the brow bone, and I really fell in love with this one, which is Blackjack, I think, yeah. As a liner, it goes on and it stays put. I really, really appreciated that. I used any one of these 3 to set my eye primer. They all worked great. I pretty much used everything. The only one that I didn't use this time around was Magnet. I just wasn't drawn to it based on the other colors I had to work with from everybody else's selections. But I like everything. I mean, if I think of the palette without opening it up, I definitely think of Blackjack. I think of Lethal. These 2 are beautiful for an eye look. These 2 are no-brainers. If I want a rust look, these are phenomenal together. I mean, it is a boring palette, but the thing is, we can replace boring with base. It is a great way to set the base for an eye look and then complement it with more color or more texture, glitters, that kind of thing. But you still need tried and true colors to start off your look. It's not everybody that's going to go with a bright sky blue in the crease, right? So to have such a staple palette with a nice big mirror that's very usable, very sturdy, I have recommended this one for travel, and it does come with a nice compact brush. I think it's not a bad palette to have as a solid suggestion for many of us. I think it's a very, very good choice. I really enjoyed using it over the last month, and yeah, I highly recommend this boring palette. I'll stop saying that. This basic palette. Next, we have 8 for August, and Julie picked another palette that I very much love, and I like them both for the aesthetics of their packaging and for the inside. So that's a win-win for me. And it's the NARS Hot Tryst. I don't know if you can see NARS in the packaging, but it's written in there. This was a holiday palette 2018, and it's well loved. It's kind of dusty. You can still see the design, but it's getting faint on a few of them because I'm using it quite a bit. I used a lot of these two highlighters, and I used, as far as blush goes, these two at the top is what I used the most while I was using this palette over the last month. I had no trouble dipping into this one, just like I had no trouble dipping into the ABH Gradient palette that I went over earlier. I'm not drawn to these though as eyeshadow. I find the matte aspect of the Gradient palette to be more of a driver for me, and I do realize that these are shinier than they really are because of the angle of the design, the imprint on the powders. All that I want to say is they're solid products. I appreciate them each for their own, the color that they offer, each and every one of them. This one is definitely a higher impact blush if I want to have something deeper. Yeah, it's a good palette, and there's been another one since this one that has kind of a wavy top. If I didn't have this one, I guarantee you I would have gone for the other one. I think that the assortment of colors is very good, and I was very happy to use the blushes and the highlighters in this 6-pan palette. And as a contrast, it really does contrast with the Ultimate Basics, doesn't it? I mean, in a big way. And speaking of contrast, still, Julie had selected in the other category number 10, and number 10 is the razor sharp eyeliners from Urban Decay. Let me show you those very quickly. I have 4 of them, and here are, unfortunately, I didn't go for the really bright ones. I went for these 2, and these 2 are called Intergalactic and Space Cowboy. Space Cowboy I ended up using on the inner to center lid. It is a lot more popping than what I have here, which is the Moondust shadow version, but it's very flattering. It's very, very nice color, and I'm happy to have used it as basically a liquid shadow, and these work fine as a liquid shadow. And I do wish that I had used the Intergalactic. No, this is the Intergalactic. What's this one again? Starts with an S. Oh no, Junk Show. Junk Show and Kush. I should know this one. I'm not sure why I didn't use the brighter colors. I do like brighter colors, and I kind of want to keep them in the rotation because I really want to use them in an eye look. Here is Intergalactic and Space Cowboy. Those are the 2 that I did use during the month. And so yeah, I think I'm going to keep these 2 because I haven't used them and I would like to do a look with them. But really enjoyed the 2 that I did use. I think that the looks came out really nicely. And really, as a whole, the selections by Adrianna, Susan, and Julie were fantastic this month. I won't count my chickens as far as having as easy of a time again in the coming month. I feel like it was another really, really successful round. So with that, I think it's time to select round 7. What do you think? Let me give you the ranges for round 7 and let you know how it works. I am going to give you 3 categories of products, each with a range. Please select one number out of each one of the 3 ranges that I give you and give me the category, and just give me a comment down below. So for example, let's just say the same number, all 3. Let's say eyeshadow palettes, 10, face palettes, 10, other category, 10. You know, just pick whichever number you want within the range, and it is a first come, first serve. So whoever gives me a comment first, their selection will get priority over the next person that gives me the same number. So please take a look at the other comments in this video so that you don't select something that's already been selected. And we're not that many people in the comments. it doesn't take very long to just have a glance, a gander at what everyone has selected so far. All right, here are the ranges for this round. So again, give me the category and the number. First category, eyeshadow palettes. The range is from 1 to 78. 1 to 78. The next one is face palettes. And face palettes, the range is from 1 to 11. 1 to 11. And then finally, for the other category, the range is 1 to 10. 1 to 10. I will leave this open for a number of days, no more than 5. Once I have 4 people, I will close it off because it gets to be too many palettes, too much of other stuff. But once I get a handful of people, I will close it off and then come back to you and let you know what palette or product corresponds to the number that you offered. And like I said for last time, if your selections, if there's a story behind the numbers, a reason you gave me the numbers you gave me for the different products, please let me know what the story is. Sometimes in the past it's been an anniversary date or it's been a special date because something special happened to someone. I really do like, if you don't mind, I love to share the reason for the number selected. It just adds a little bit extra to the meaning of the products that I end up using for the number of weeks, or in this case month, since the selection. And I think it just makes it all the more fun and informative. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much, and I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.